Hiya, we're up the allotment this weekend and I'm doing some tying up and pruning of the tomatoes that we've got up here. Graham and Nancy are sieving some compost out of a bed that had really bad couch grass, and we want it for brassicas, not couch grass. So they are sort of weeding and sieving through the compost to get as much of the root out as possible because it was so bad in there. And I'll show you what I've been up to. So here's the tomatoes. You can see where I've been pruning them and tying them up. I like to use a really brightly coloured string so that I can see next time I come along and do it. I can see where I've been. It makes it a lot easier. A lot of them, where the wind has been blowing them around, they're growing a bit sort of twisted, so I'm having to try and straighten them up a bit. But there we go, I've got 3 rows done, and now I've got this last row to go ahead with. Graham and Nancy are over here and they're sieving out the compost, trying to get rid of all the couch grass roots, because this bed was particularly bad. And you can see how fast it grows actually, because this bed behind them is where I took all the shallots out the other day, and now it's full of couch grass, so you can see just how fast it comes up. It's just sort of 2 weeks that's taken, so it's a bit of a pest on this plot. Right, back to the tomatoes, and that's the last row in. Some of them, they've just been battered by the weather so much, but this is the best example I've got. Some of them are so twisted up. Can you see that? Where they keep getting blown down, where I've tied them up and the old string snaps because it gets weakened and it snaps, and these poor things just tumble back down again. But I've got a few like that and they're really quite twisted, but they're still going, and this bit should bring itself facing back up again, but it just means it just looks pretty gnarly. Graham's just about to put some cardboard down on this brassica bed, and then all the screened compost that's behind him will go back on top, and I'll probably top it off with a bag of manure, a couple of bags of manure or something, and rake it over the top so that it's nice to plant in. Nancy's got it available. She is making a box fort, which is very important indeed. Brought some plants up. I was going to make a little wigwam. I bought some more runner beans because ours weren't doing so great, but having come up and seen the state of them, I think probably better to show you. Yeah, these are my beans. Now pretty much everyone had 2 plants to a cane when we started out, but they're still getting battered by the slugs and snails. Everything's still getting eaten, and yeah, even this one, there's just nothing on it. So even the growing tip of that one is gone. So yeah, it's a bit depressing. So I think these aren't the same. These are Enorma that I bought at the garden centre yesterday, and I'm just going to add them to the worst looking canes and see if that helps get us some runner beans this year, because otherwise, like a lot of our other crops, we're just going to end up with nothing. So, and behind me, my lovely little frame, my mini frame, that's the same, that's been eaten, and the plants are looking pretty dead on most of the canes. There's a few in the middle there that look okay, but yeah, it doesn't bode too well I'm still loving this little bean structure though, so cute. Right, Graham's put the cardboard down and wet it, and now he's just putting the screened compost back on the top.
Quick shout out to My Rusty Garden. I watched your classic car video. Big fan of American cars and hot rods. Great video.
Right, the beans are in. That's looking a little bit better, and I've mulched round the beans now as well, just to give them even more of a chance at survival. So that's how it's looking now. The mulch is the Melcore composted bark. I find it's brilliant for mulching the beds. I've used it to mulch the main crop potatoes as well, and it's fantastic stuff because it's cheaper than the multi-purpose compost. But you can see that it's still pretty fine and really lovely stuff. It's not really chunky bark in there, so it's perfect for putting on the top of the beds really. Yeah, so there we go. Everything had a good water, and then I've put the mulch on top. Yeah, where Nancy is, I've got these sad looking buckets of potatoes. They need to come out, or well, this one's the worst. The other two are still sort of fairly green, so we'll give them a bit longer, but they haven't been in the buckets that long. These were the last ones I planted, but I want this bucket to plant something else in, so these potatoes are coming out, so we'll tip them out and see what's inside. I'm gonna tip these out. The plants don't want to come out, so I'm just going to tip the whole thing into the yellow bucket, and then we can see if we've got any potatoes or not. I see a tiny bucket. I don't think it will be very good because they were in so late. So let's have a look.
See some. Yay! Daddy.
Oh, there we go. We've got some nice worms there as well.
Oh, hello, you two. Hello, you two. Are you playing with the potatoes? I guess they were playing with the potatoes. I guess.
Maybe. I think they've had a nice life in the bucket.
A nice little time with the bucket.
Do you know, that's better than I was expecting it to be honest. They haven't been there that long. They must have been in here about 8 weeks.
There's another squishy one.
Well, it's not bad.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good considering they were just spare potatoes, and I thought I'll just chuck them in, even though I know that I'm not going to have them in here for that long. So yeah, I think that's it, but I'm pretty happy with that little mini harvest. And I'm not sure what these ones were either. I think they might be pendulum javelin, something like that. Not a bad little harvest. Right, this is what I want to go in the bucket. I'm just going to reuse the compost the potatoes are in because they weren't in it for very long, and I can always fertilise it at a later date. But I got this blackcurrant sage at the garden centre. It's got these gorgeous little flowers on it, and I want to pop it in this bucket because I want to give it a chance, because everything that goes in the ground gets slugged. So I'm hoping that being in a bucket will give it a head start.
It's almost like...
It's very dry. I'll give it a bit of a water in a minute. There we go. I'll pop the tag in. But I'm hoping that I can get cuttings off of this later on once it's established, and then I can spread it around all over the place, because It's so pretty, and the flowers are meant to make really good tea as well. So that's it for us today. Hope you've enjoyed coming to the allotment with us today, and hope to see you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.